Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naimah Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naimah Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangade. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Suson Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jodi Suson. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Welcome to Cell Care, Suson Essentials in concert with the Female Solution. And we have a very important show we're going to share with you today. It's about the hidden toxins, and they're hidden in your food supply, your water supply. They're hidden in your body. They're hidden in your mouth, like your tongue, right? We're going to talk about that. And there's a few things that we're going to reference today. So just to kind of give you an overview. This book, How Not to Die by Michael Greger, MD. We're going to reference this book, Toxic Overload, A Doctor's Plan for Combating the Illness Caused by Chemicals in Our Foods, Our Homes, and Our Medicine Cabinets. Yeah. Right? That was me, 235 pounds. We're going to talk about solutions. We're going to talk a little bit about the bod. We're going to talk something I hardly ever talk about, but I use multiple times a day. We're going to talk about the Healy and the adjoining coil that helps you detox your body and helped me when I was toxic. We're going to talk about the Beamer. Too big to show in the show, but I have a website to show you. Okay. And these things are all so critically important. And I'm going to tell you why we're talking about it today. So, my husband and I went to a restaurant. It's an organic restaurant, and they've always filtered their water. And we checked that before we went. And the last time we went, which was on the 22nd, so about 8-9 days ago, we discovered they didn't filter water. We, of course, discovered this after we drank it. Now, you can't see my eyes close up, but there's a reason I'm not wearing mascara today. It's because the toxins are coming out of my eyes, pus out of my eyes. Because when toxins want out of your body, your lymphatic system is working the way it's supposed to, you're going to get a detox out of every orifice of your body. That's right. Every single one. And it's not pretty. And we're going to talk about what you do to support yourself in terms of preventive care. And we're going to talk about what you do when you get exposed. Like, because we all get exposed. If you're walking outside and you're breathing the air, guess what? You're exposed because they've got glyphosate in the gasoline. And of course, then there's the gasoline that's up. The glyphosate in there. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my two partners in health, Naimah Latif, our executive producer. She's another writer other than executive producer, because as much as that is a fantastic title, doesn't even cover what she knows. She's the executive producer of life. Let's say that. And then I'm going to bring on my husband, Andrew Calhoun, who's a transformation specialist who's been going through his own health journey. And he's going to talk, about the toxins to we consume electronically. All right. Let me do that first. Naimah, welcome. Hi, beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. You've made me feel beautiful today.
I can't make you feel beautiful. You just are. And Andrew Thayer Calhoun. How are you, darling?
I'm awesome. Thanks.
Oh, I like that answer. Awesome. Yeah.
So the house has been on fire.
Mm.
I'm going to say the house has been on fire. There's been a lot of toxicity in our food, in our water. This household isn't used to it. And then there was what was on the TV. Now, what most people do not know about me is I have not, and Andrew, your face is not in the, I'm just going to, your face is not in the.
Tilt up a little.
You can't see me?
Now I can.
Yeah, you may need to tilt down your laptop a little.
I can see you, so I can see me.
Tilt up.
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now. Oh, there you go. Bye-bye. Okay, you look awesome. So
yeah, you may need to tilt. You may need to tilt a little. You may need to tilt it. Yeah, tilt it up.
Oh, because our heads are all funky. Yeah. Okay, got it. There you go, doll. Yeah, keep it even. So there's been a lot of toxicity in this household. The water supply we had issues with. The bathtub we had issues with because the bathtub leaked toxins in the body. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that, Naimah. Wait till you see this crap or hear this crap. And then there was what we chose to watch on the television. I don't really watch TV, neither does Andrew. And but we plugged in a movie. And it wasn't what we expected. And by that late time, it already had negatively impacted. So I'm going to start. I think, Andrew, are you still sending out notifications?
Yes, Joe, I'm having some issues, so I'm trying to manage through that right
We're
now.
going to let you do that. And so then I'll just start with the toxic overload. And so let's start with that. So toxic overload. In this book, Toxic Overload, they talk about everyday sources of toxic heavy metals. So there's something you want to know about toxic heavy metals, okay? When you have heavy metals in your body, your cells are not as adept at absorbing the nutrients, okay? So you get exposed unknowingly to heavy metals, which is easy to do in your water supply. Okay, just drink out of your tap and you're done. Okay, and then you're eating like an organic salad, or you're taking your mushroom powders, but your body's actually not fully, or the cells in your body are not fully absorbing the nutrients, and they're not being absorbed. And Andrew, I'm going to take you out just for a minute so you can focus on that. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome, Dal. And so your cells aren't absorbing the nutrients. And so it's really tough when you're not feeling well to get better. So what does this show up like, right? Fatigue, brain fog, skin issues. I had pus coming out of my eye.
Oh, wow.
Even this morning. The muscles in my legs, they didn't want to move. They were so fatigued that walking from my car to the house was a struggle. So if you're experiencing these types of things where you get easily fatigued, don't have energy, or any of those things, well, then you want to take a look at whether or not you have toxic overload. Okay. So in the book, it talks about sources. Sources, okay? Everyday sources of toxic heavy metals. So there's airborne metal particles near mine smelters and metal processing or heavy engineering works. Carbonated beverages in aluminum cans.
So popular. Yes.
Yep. So the aluminum cans, aluminum is a huge contributor to early onset dementia and Alzheimer's. And how it shows up for you every day is brain fog. Wow. You don't know why. And by the time you're like 50, you're like, it usually sets in for people by 50. They're like, they don't understand why they're not feeling
remember
well.
things. Yeah.
Can't find your keys. Right? It may be common, but it's not normal.
But we accept it as normal and make jokes about it, but really,
because it's happening to our neighbor, right?
Yeah.
The cooking utensil you use, aluminum and Teflon. Ooh. So I have 2 birds. If I was cooking with Teflon, it would kill my birds on instant case.
Wow. Wow.
So now I want to let you know something. Whenever you buy something and it's hazardous for your animals,
it's hazardous.
They get hit first.
Yeah.
You get hit second.
Yes.
Buy it. I think Andrew's ready. Do you want to give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Andrew? Yeah, he is. Okay. All right, Dal.
Yeah. Still need to tilt up a little. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going through every source of heavy metals. Here's one that a lot of people don't know. Your dental amalgamum. I can't even pronounce it. But basically, your fillings.
Mm-hmm. Then they used to
So
make
when
those out of what was that?
mercury.
Mercury, which is bad
Uh-huh.
for your body. Yeah.
Yeah. Mercury, tin, silver, copper.
Mm.
Food additives. So I'm going to show something on the screen. So they're talking about aluminum, and I'm going to segue from heavy metals just for the moment. And I'm going to show you something that will flip you out. So
Ooh.
the colors are dying.
Dying for.
Mm-hmm. So Fruit Loops, right?
Ooh.
It's a pretty scary graphic. We may have showed that last week or the week before when I was with my son for my other son's graduation. He was eating Fruit Loops in the hotel, and I said, Robert, I said, you're studying medicine, you're studying pre-med. You got to know that the things that you're putting in your body are not helpful for you. They're chemicals, and the chemicals look good. They may taste good, but they're not good for you. And so Jodi shared this with me, and I shared it with him because it's really illustrative of what people are putting into their bodies. Now, this is maybe an extreme because it's the rainbow. People are told, and they're correctly told, right, to eat the rainbow. What that means is eat the colors of the rainbow. So you want to eat leafy green vegetables, red peppers, yellow peppers, green beans, all kinds of it, eggplant. Well, all these colors of the rainbow, which are the good colors. These are fake colors of the rainbow. Graphic. And these colors, these dyes, people kind of have an idea that dyes are bad for them, but they don't really have a comprehensive understanding of what they do to you and how bad they are for you. And because it's just a little bit in each one of those pieces of cereal, you don't think much about it, but you add up all the dyes that are in the cereal and the other foods, the processed foods that you eat. And it's hard to see it on the screen here. There's some bad stuff in there.
Is it okay if I read it for those who may be listening and not
Good idea.
a visual image?
If you don't read it, I'll read it. So go for it, Naimah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first of all, there's red 40, and all those little cute little red candies and everything, and the red cereals, Fruit Loops, all that sort of thing. Well, M&Ms, right? Yeah, all the nice red stuff you like eating. Well, it causes hyperactivity and various types of cancer. And then you've got red 3, which causes thyroid cancer and chromosomal damage. In other words, damage to your chromosomes. Yellow 7.
A 5.
I'm sorry, yellow 5. My bad. Yellow 5 causes hyperactivity, chromosomal damage, and thyroid tumors. Yellow 6, hyperactivity and kidney and adrenal gland tumors. Green 3, bladder and testes tumors. Blue 1, hyperactivity, chromosome damage, kidney tumors, and asthma. Blue 2, hyperactivity, chromosomal damage, and brain and bladder tumors. So these are deadly, and all of it's in a nice sugary bowl of Fruit Loops.
Yeah, Naimah, what you're giving there is you're just giving the icing on the loops, because what really is killing you in there is all that sugar. Probably more than 50% of the construction of these cereals is sugar. A lot of the other, whatever else is left is maybe wheat that's got glyphosate and other things in it. It's an all around bad mixture for your health.
Talk to us about the glyphosate. What does that do?
Well, glyphosate, if anyone's been on the show before, you may have heard us talk about it. Glyphosate is what's in one of the kind of components of Roundup. And if you've ever done gardening in your yard, or if you ever look for a weed killer, Roundup is the best one. I mean, as far as killing things, it kills things. The problem is it kills things in your body as well. So Roundup is used again as a weed killer. It was originally developed as a pipe cleaner, meaning pipes under the ground that bring water to your house and waste away from your house. get rust on them. So they developed this thing called glyphosate to actually clean the rust out of the pipes. Then they figured out it's really good weed killer as well. So what this people don't, you got to put this together. So what that means is that glyphosate is used as weed killing for most of the conventional food that you're eating is grown. The glyphosate's put on it to kill the weeds. The food absorbs the glyphosate, so you're going to be then eating it. So this glyphosate, which is originally invented to clean pipes, is now cleaning your pipes, not in a good way. It's not like it's cleansing. It's taking minerals and nutrients out of your body, not allowing you to absorb it. So glyphosate's a bad deal. Glyphosate's even used at things, I think, Jodi, isn't it used to like make fruit or food look better, make French fries stand up? McDonald's French fries.
So actually, that's a different one. Good. I'm glad thank you for leading the way. So that's a different one. That's Monitor. So Monitor is another toxin that is
like a preservative?
No, it's used for necrosis. So for potatoes. So here's the story, and I'll remove this for the moment. The story goes, McDonald's really likes these big potatoes, and y'all can look it up. Maybe I'll find it during this show. But McDonald's like to use these big potatoes because they're very long French fries that creates a bouquet coming out of the
potato
fry holder, right? Yeah. Okay. So that they did this particular type of potato, forget what kind it is, maybe it's Idaho, I don't know, is prone to having bruises. Well, McDonald's like, well, I don't want a bruise on my French fry. Put this on it, which is called Monitor. Okay, so it's rid of the bruises. Well, maybe not so much. So here's why it's not so awesome. First of all, when they're spraying the field, they do it wearing a hazmat suit. Yes, and then it has to gas off for I think like 5 days in the field, and then when they harvest it, it has to gas off for another 5 weeks in a stadium-sized building before they serve it to you. Yeah. Yeah.
So what they put on it is like cosmetics, like you put makeup on to cover blemishes or something. Is that what they're doing to our foods? So we're eating
cosmetics.
I'm so glad you mentioned cosmetics, because I want to go to that toxin. So this is nail polish, and maybe not a super popular brand, but it's called Mineral Fusion. This is the only nail polish that I'm aware of. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist elsewhere. It's not made with formaldehyde. So if you're polishing your nails, which is fine, I do it from time to time, you want to use a brand that doesn't have formaldehyde in it. So now, what about taking the polish off? That's kind of tough to do without acetone, right? Yeah. You really don't want that on your body either. What is that?
It's an essential oil. Which oil is that?
Lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
Yeah. So I use this as my nail polish remover. It comes off in a snap.
And no toxins.
In the show is I'm going to demonstrate this. So I've got the nail polish. I'm going to put it on just on my big thumb. Okay. We're going to let it dry. And then during this show, I'll take a quick break and I'll get a little cotton swab and I'll show you how fast that comes off. Okay. So back to what Andrew was saying about minerals. Why would you, if you're pulling the mineral out of your body, it's not going to be.
Glyphosate pulls minerals out of your body. And unfortunately, the food, it's crazy because the conventional food, the food that most people eat, Even organic food, to a large degree, doesn't have the vitamins, nutrients, minerals that your body needs. We think it does. If it looks like it's green and leafy, or a carrot or whatever it is, you think it's got full of nutrients and vitamins. Doesn't. If you think about the conventional food, we'll talk about that for a minute. There are only 3 minerals that are put into the soil there. So the soil grows your vegetables, and it's only got a few minerals in there. So when you eat it, your body is going to be mineral deficient because you're not really getting what you think you're getting from the vegetables. And your body compensates. The body is an incredible God-given body that you've got, that is a master healing machine, number one, if you give it what it needs. It also is a compensator. So it's going to continue to fight and work, even though you're not giving it the nutrients and vitamins that you need. It's going to continue to fight for you to keep you alive until it doesn't, until things start going bad, disease or illness. And then you're saying, gosh, I wonder why that happened. I can't figure that out. It seems like it just happened overnight. It didn't. Lots of times it's because of the toxins or the lack of nutrition that's built up over many years, and your body can't fight those things off anymore. So what that means is that because you're not, this show isn't really necessarily about nutrition or supplements, but because your body's not getting the nutrients that it needs from the food that you're eating, you need to supplement it with other things. And people, let's look back to when we were kids. A multivitamin, sometimes a vitamin C, and sometimes multivitamins, if you got the right ones, are a good thing to have. But there are some core nutrients, some core vitamins that your body desperately needs. I'll throw one out that I take every night: magnesium. It's an easy mineral to take. It's very important. Vitamin C certainly is another good one to have. There's a whole host of them that you should look into. And do some research, because your body will thank you for it in the near term, in addition to thanking you for it later. Jodi?
Well, that's such a great point. And I brought up on the screen the 3 nutrients, the 3 minerals: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, that are required for plant growth. And that's all they put in there. Now, I don't have a picture to show, but as you know, Andrew, I just started growing basil, right? In on the porch, and I put in trace minerals, like all the trace minerals into the basil, because I figured, why not? If I feed the basil what it needs, it'll feed me what I need.
So we talk about you are what you eat, and when that's critical to remember, that the vegetables, the fruits, the meats, the grains that you eat, you need to know what's actually in those vegetables or grains or meats that you're eating. So number one, we're talking about the nutrition, the minerals, the vitamins that are in there. If we talk about, if you're a meat eater of any kind, you're looking at also, number one, growth hormones, which are in most meat that's grown conventionally, not farm. There's a difference between responsibly produced pigs, sheep, cows, and ones that are fed growth hormones, M&Ms, whatever they're fed. There's a big difference. So you are what you eat because of the growth hormones. You have to also know what the animals are being fed. It's not just the growth hormones, but it's things to fatten them up, which aren't necessarily good for you. So what they eat and process through goes into their tissue. Look at the stress. A lot of animals are stressed out. Why wouldn't you be? If you're in a some people have seen videos of livestock in the horrible conditions that some of them are raised in. That's stressful. That stress translates into their system when they are slaughtered and you eat them. You're getting those stress hormones as well. It's just bad all the way around. You have to be conscious of what you eat, because you are what they eat, not just what you eat.
Well, and it's really great. I want to show you guys. So I'm coming back, and I put the post in the thread, so you can look this up for yourself. But this is about McDonald's and French fries having dangerous pesticides in the monitor, right? So it's in the thread, and I guess it's the russet Burbank potato. Remember, I didn't know what kind of potato it was, and it's iconic potato. It's unusually difficult to grow, and so it's exactly what I just told you. So, so go ahead. It's in the stream. It's in the thread. If you're watching this for YouTube, you'll see it pop up. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, you'll have to go to Facebook or YouTube to see it because link won't post. So, so I'll remove that. And then it's 30. I'm going to go to a couple quick commercials. And then when we come back, I want to talk about the toxicity on our TV. And I'm just going to plant this seed, pun intended, right? People, you can change your DNA with the right frequency. Okay? Meaning we play the frequency of love, 528 hertz house all the time. You can literally change your DNA for the better with that music. And Andrew's going to talk about what happened to our birds when we accidentally tuned into the wrong show. So, or wrong movie. So here we go.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jodi Suson. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naimah Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
And then I'm going to play
President Lee.
There we go.
Taxes are higher than ever. Every resident leaves Chicago to shop in Indiana. Jobs are being lost and businesses are relocating. Let's find a way to lower our taxes to encourage residents to continue living and shopping in our city. Let's rebuild. Let's restore Chicago. Vote for me, for mayor of the city of Chicago, and I will work hard to find solutions that matter. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson, Mayor.
Okay, is there another one to play on this break, or do we need to?
Yeah, we'll wait till the next break for the next one.
Okay, awesome. And then I'm just gonna play this one real quick.
Hi, I'm Jodi Suson with Suson Essentials. I started Suson Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Suson Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Suson Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
Okay, so we are back. It looks like we have a comment from Vieta. She says, Grand Rising, beautiful souls. Grand Rising to you, Vieta, my sister from another mister. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to Andrew. Give me a minute. And let me do this.
There you go.
So Andrew, you're going to lead here and talking about something that I'm very passionate about, which is what we feed ourselves, like from TV, radio, stuff like that. And I'm going to let you lead this story. So you are on the show.
Sure. So thank you, Jodi. I have this list of movies of things that I want to watch. And I've been compiling this list for years. Came across a new movie that's been out for not too long. Tom Hanks is the star in it, and I was interested in it because it has to do with people connecting with each other over lifetimes, and how we are connected with people, not just in close proximity to us geographically, but around the world, and even through different generations and different lifetimes. I thought it sounded interesting, and it got good reviews. So we're watching it, and it gets violent. There's a scene during slavery times of someone being whipped. There is a rape scene. There is a killing scene, and it's not good. And it wasn't. It was something that was hurtful to me. I didn't like what I was seeing. It was hurtful to Jodi. She didn't like it. And even the birds. Animals can't lie. They can't mask things. You might not understand how they're communicating their feelings, but our birds, I'd never seen. We have two parrots. I'd never seen such a reaction from them before. They went into their cage. They hunkered in the corner, and they are closing their eyes. And you think, well, maybe they were tired. Maybe there was some kind of reaction. So let's fast forward. I shut off the movie well before it had ended. 2 hours before it ended. It was a long movie. 2 hours before it ended. And then we're understanding the birds are not in a good space. So we tried to bring them out of the cage to comfort them. Could not get it. They were cowering and didn't want to come. They were scared to come out. Not like them at all. Scared and hurt and affected. So violence affects us on a conscious level because we're looking at it. It affects us on a subconscious level. Things we can't even realize, how defensive we become in there. And even animals do the same thing. They can understand the energy. It's not even just the visual, it's the energy that comes out, the negative energy that comes out. Why am I bringing this up? Why is it so important? People have an understanding that when children, when adults watch violence, play violent games, and see things, they accept them as normal. And it's even been a think about in one generation, the differences we've seen in movie content and television content, and even radio content, with the extreme violence and sexual promiscuity that's displayed. If you think back to when in the 60s and 70s, a fight was a punch fight, or maybe there was a gunshot and the person fell down, but you didn't see the gore and the blood. And then you look at what's happening right now. I challenge you to look at the movies that are out right now in the theater, or the movies that are recommended to you on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever other station. You'll find that a large percentage of those are violent-based movies. And we think of those as normal, what's allowed. The video games that kids or adults are playing, a lot of violence, a lot of sexual content in those video games. It's not a normal thing. At least it wasn't a normal thing until we were fed it and made to think this is okay. I'm going to take you to something Jodi and I were talking about yesterday, and it seems innocent enough. Go back to the cartoons. Go back to Looney Tunes. Roadrunner, Coyote. Coyote or Roadrunner would get anvils dropped on them, or rocks would fall on top of them. Dynamite would blow up, and then they'd come back to life. No big deal. people get shot, they come back to life, or no big deal. It is a big deal because reality isn't that way. Reality isn't that someone gets shot and they come back to life, or a rock falls on them and they come back to life. But it's sad that what we're seeing with issues as recently as in what happened in Texas, of someone deciding, I've seen shootouts happen on TV, doesn't faze me, I'm just going to go and do that. Now, there are lots of things that to go into this. We can get into some of them, of what this particular incident that prompted this young man to do that, the evil crime he committed in that school, from the emotional traumas that he's gone under, or the food that he's been eating that's driving these behaviors. We can get to that in a few minutes. I just want to close up and say, with what I'm saying right now, that we need to take a proactive approach to what is considered normal for the violence that's displayed on TV and the violence that's displayed in movies, because the more people see it, the more people accept it as the normal, the more you're going to see it reflected in what really happens in society. The more shootings, bombings, attacks are going to happen. And it isn't just, quote, gun control. It isn't just that. This week at my high school in Alexandria, Virginia, at T.C. Williams, the Remember the Titans movie, that's where I went to high school. A 17-year-old was stabbed outside the school, killed. So it's not just assault weapons, it's knives. It's the violence where people see, they see it displayed and they mimic it. Think about how you want, it's not what people say, it's what they do. You mimic behavior, you follow behavior that you see others model. So model good behavior. Don't model that which you don't want to see. Model that which you do want to see. Jodi?
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Let me just bring us back to, there we go. So anything to add to that, Naimah?
Oh, wow. Absolutely. I am so glad, Andrew, that you brought this up. Tomorrow on our show, we'll be talking about a group that we started last year, but we knew that it was going to take an incident for people to understand the importance of it. And that group is called WAVE, Women Against Violent Entertainment. And our first step is to educate people, as you've just done, on the effects of watching violence. And the interesting thing is, just like people have a hard time giving up their sugary cereals with the deadly dye in it, people have a hard time giving up violent entertainment. That also becomes addictive, even though it produces all of those effects that you just described. And we're seeing it played out in our environment, and we're horrified when it happens in real life. And yet, when you tell people, turn it off, stop watching it on TV, they're like, well, that's not really the problem. Yes, it is. That is the problem. You're programming your brain to accept this, be stimulated by this, and then also the toxins that are released in your bloodstream when you're under stress, because you're feeling the same stress that people are experiencing in the fake movies, but you're feeling the stress and it's affecting you biochemically. So people have to be educated that they're killing themselves by what they're ingesting through the television, whether it's a movie or the news. And we have to choose to stop, because we're seeing what happens when we keep feeding that to people. That's one of the challenges that we had, is to get people to stop killing themselves. And this is exactly what is happening. And we're seeing the effects of it, all these mass shootings. Each mass shooting is a wake-up call for us to choose to stop feeding ourselves the poison of violence. And we're going to keep seeing it until we finally get the message. Just like people are going to keep dying from toxins until they get the message to stop killing their bodies. So this is a critical point.
Let me connect that, though. Can I connect these dots?
Absolutely.
So the toxins that you're putting into your body are impacting how you process information,
Yes.
making you reactive. Get a gun, get a knife, right?
Yes.
Get a bat. You gonna outlaw
Yeah.
bats, by the way, people? You gonna outlaw baseball bats? Go out of here.
Yeah.
So
Another
I'm just
weapon.
gonna say that there's a huge connection, and this is the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month, but month, that's how I live. But there's a distinct connection between what you eat and your mental health.
Yes.
Okay. And so now your body's filled with this toxic food, this toxic information, making it seem normal that it's okay to do X, right? Slice a throat, rape a child, rape a woman, rape a man, whip a man. These things are not okay.
Yeah.
These things are not okay.
We're not okay.
And don't let your
you're not
children
knowing.
watch this.
Oh, yes. Do not let, and I have been in homes where people will have their little 2-year-olds watching the most violent movies and they're just oblivious, and I'm like, but this child is absorbing this. You don't get it. And they're just, they're not paying attention. Yes, they are. Their subconscious is sucking it in. The interesting thing about the movie that you described, Andrew, now I had an inspiration a few months back. I wanted to do a movie about the various lives that you live and how these same people just play different roles in your life. And I actually, had the thought of one of the characters, being, going back in medieval times. They've been through that, and then they've been through the slave times. They've been through, time in war times. And I thought about that, and I thought, but the thing about it, how do you portray something to give people the understanding that we've had these many life experiences and we've had these different relationships with people? How do you portray these things without the graphic violence? So that's the challenge I had in my mind when I wanted to do this script. And now, so you've described this movie that someone else had the inspiration to put together, but they chose to put in all the graphic violence, which really kind of overshadowed what they were trying to teach. And that is that we are connected over many different lives, because you're so horrified and watching the violence, it almost doesn't matter what the message was.
Jodi, thank you. And Jodi and I were talking about that even this morning of can you I was thinking about the movie Last Temptation of Christ, where there's actually the Passion of the Christ, which shows what Christ suffered, what it would have been like to have seen him and what he suffered on his way to the cross and actual crucifixion. Do we need to see that?
I know.
No. So there are ways to let's talk about the slave being whipped that hurt me. I felt pain. You could have the sound of a whip and see nothing, and you can imagine the pain that must feel without showing it. You can imagine that. Even the mind has a great ability to imagine things. We have a great sense to be able to do that. You don't need to show things. Think about even clothing. If you don't, a man doesn't have to show all the parts of the body. We can actually kind of imagine what that looks like underneath the clothes instead of trying to show the people what it really looks like. I mean, it's there. You don't have to show the graphics. You don't have to show the violence of sexuality. You can lead a person to that, and so then they
use their
imagination and go to the next place.
Well, so there was a movie that Andrew and I watched, and we're going to bring on Kwame Sunhorse in a moment. He's backstage, and so, but Andrew and I were watching a dinosaur movie on Apple and Apple TV. Now we all know that the dinosaurs died, so we know how the story ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not like guesswork.
Not like news, yeah.
Not news, not guesswork. And here's the good news: when we watched the dinosaur movie, dinosaurs were dying. No blood, no guts, no nothing. The only time they showed a hint of blood was when a baby was a underwater type dinosaur was born. So that's a love blood, right? Because she was giving birth birth to the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the blood was shed from, the vaginal canal. And it wasn't even, it was just like a normal, like how it's supposed to be when you birth.
Yeah, like after birth. Yeah.
Yeah, not gross, even by my terms, because I'm highly sensitive. Not gross, accurate, no bloodshed. Nobody had to see bites coming out of people. Right? Or out of souls, I'll call them.
Yeah. Well, that's the question. Why do we believe we need to have things so graphic? And the answer is that because it's entertainment. It's like the Colosseum with the lions eating people and that, or the gladiators, people enjoying suffering. So we have to ask ourselves, why are we enjoying watching suffering? Why do we allow people to show us suffering and we're choosing to use it as entertainment? Why would we want to do that? And we think it's so horrifying when we talk about the gladiators and the times in the Roman Colosseums and the feeding the lions to the feeding the Christians to the lions and people watching that. We're doing the same thing.
Right. We're feeding what are you feeding your children? And then they go to school and they have fights with people because that's what's in their brain. Yes. And then they have nightmares when they sleep and can't sleep through the night because they're horrified.
Yes.
Anyways, we're going to take Kwame before we go to break. And I just want to do this real quick. This is lemongrass. Okay. Lemongrass essential oil. Watch this. Okay. So now a little bit of this pad. Here's this. I'm going to take that off. It's coming off with ease. Okay.
So that's the essence of the plant, right, Joe? It's the essence of the lemongrass plant.
Yes. So thank you. So lemon essential oil or lemongrass essential oil, whatever you got, and this is almost off, right?
And no toxins in your system.
The bloodline or the essence of the plant, and lemongrass is good for you. So now you're not adding a toxin to your body, but you're adding a plant, and the vibrational frequency of an essential oil is very high. I don't know what it is for lemongrass. And so that frequency builds up in your body, which is a positive frequency, right? Now you just, I'm not going to finish all this, but look at that. It's pretty much gone. I've got some residue, but I'd have to get another little thing. Well, let's go to Kwame. Shall any questions about that, folks?
Hey, sounds great. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so let's bring on Kwame. Hold on. Kwame, Sun Horse, how are you, Dolly? Okay, so let's bring on Kwame. Kwame, Sun Horse, how are you, Dolly? Oh, let's bring on Kwame.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, he make sure he doesn't have Facebook up on his screen.
Oh, your Facebook is on.
Yeah, he make sure he doesn't have Facebook because we're hearing his. Yeah, make sure he doesn't have Facebook.
I just needed you back.
Yeah, you gotta cut. Close all windows where you may have Facebook. Yeah, you gotta cut.
Why is it still doing that? I
close all windows. Oh, that's weird.
I'm gonna hit that.
You gotta cut.
Why is it still doing that? I
close all windows. Oh, that's weird.
Okay. Does anybody else have another window open?
Let me double check. Close all of mine. Close mine.
Okay. Does anybody else have another window open? Ah, there we go. Okay, Kwame called back. I know Naimah is getting back on in a minute, and then Kwame will get you back in on the show in a second here. Okay. Well, that was kind of a bummer. But anyway, Andrew, you make such a good point. And what I learned, and here's Naimah. Here we go. Hi there. What I learned back in 2014 when I was watching The Truth About Cancer is that you can eat all the organic food you want and still get cancer. Andrew, why is that?
Say it again.
You can eat all the organic food you want and still get cancer. Why is that?
Well, there are 3 T's. There's traumas, toxins, and thoughts. And so we talk about toxins. One thing is I talked about earlier is the food that you eat doesn't necessarily have enough nutritional value. Even if you're buying it from a Whole Foods or a store that has organic food, it still doesn't necessarily have enough of the nutrition that you need, the vitamins and minerals. You can also get cancer because of so there's toxins in the food, there's toxins in the water you shower in, or water that you drink. If you're not filtering your water, surprise, you are.
I'm going to put you on speaker. We'll just. Okay.
So there's toxins that you're eating, toxins that you're breathing, toxins that you're drinking, traumas, the traumas that we have inside of our head. We were talking earlier about media and violence, or violence that you see, violence you experience, challenges, psychological challenges you have. That's one of the things that's doing it. So toxins, traumas, and thoughts. What is it you're putting in your head? What are you thinking about? What are other people telling you? Are they putting you down? Are they giving your deserve level down? Are they helping your self-esteem or hurting your self-esteem? So there's those 3 T's, Joe. That's what's really causing the majority of our problems.
Yeah.
I've got Kwame Sunhorse on the line. He's Kwame, you want to speak so we can make sure that
call him from Blog Talk. You want me to do that?
Thank you,
Naimah.
Is your voice okay?
You know, it's a very important, topic that you're talking about. There's an excellent book called The Genie and Your Genes by Dawson Church. And what he talks about is the neurotransmitters. And when you were speaking about entertainment, that's what they're doing, is to enter and detain us from our higher self. The interference that they're doing is through the cellular level and the neural nets and the synapses, because what we are looking at is intergenerational trauma. These generations that are now being programmed and the genes that are passed on through the mitochondria is significantly important for their work that they're doing and the research that they've done to see how to keep this program going. This is something that even was created in what was called the Atlantic slave trade, and I think Andrew was talking about it, but it was showing that. And that when you put fear into a woman, when you put fear into a woman, it is passed into the child. Genetically, it is passed into that child, and that child will begin to grow into have those fears. The same way we're programming, like Jodi was saying, that 2-year-old sitting in front of a television watching the violence that goes on, it's programmed because 90% of our subconscious, picks up everything that's in our environment. Trauma and environment are the 2 things that create an addict. Trauma and environment create addict. We are like remote, like when you go to your car and you hit your remote to open it or turn it on and off. That's what we've become. They have that because these phones that we use, when we hit that button, we turn ourselves on. We hit that button, we turn, and you see what happens when you turn it off. The child goes like a Wi-Fi addict. So what we have learned is that
so brilliant.
Genetically modify the human being.
So
what we're looking at, and I was sharing on your show,
beyond your years.
Back to grandmama's lap time and not laptop. Children need love and time. We do not allow ourselves to give them the nurturing that nature gives, and this is why we have to come back to her, because the frequency of the plants, this is why the fantastic fungi was so important, to see how we evolved in the neural net of the human brain is the same thing in the wood wide web and the fungi and the microbials helped us to grow the frontal lobe to manage the next part of our evolution, but they're now interfering with it by knowing that there is a cosmic consciousness of divine intelligence that is initiating the new human. We're moving from a Homo sapien to a Homo spiritus. And this is what they're challenged with, and being able to frighten. And see, that's it's my sympathy to the children that were killed there in Texas, but that's where you put the energy of fear into those women.
Ooh.
When you kill the children, you put fear into the mother.
Yeah.
No mother wants to outlive their child. And when you take that child, you create a reaction in her genetics.
Ooh.
Because
Wow.
we're looking at it in what we post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's genetically, we have been genetically modified. This is why Bruce Lipton talks about in biology of belief. In biology of belief, those genes are programmed from generation to generation.
So, Kwame,
And what we have to, and I just one other thing, and I would ask in your audience, The Tree of Life and the Zodiac Salt of Salvation by George Carey. That's an excellent book because we're all created in the womb, and we have 9 months in which we have all the minerals and cell salts that are put into our body. There are 3 months that we are missing, and we have to understand how to become and make ourselves whole.
Wow.
So I'm going to talk about that.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Barbara Kwame. We appreciate that so very much. I think we're getting ready to go to a break after Jodi.
Yeah, we do need to go to break. I'm just going to give you a sneak preview because Kwame's saying that we're basically changing the DNA. And he used an example about using like the key fob on your car. And we're basically opening up the human, right? And inserting a frequency. Now, the frequencies that are being inserted from the cell towers and your TV set and your cell phone and your microwave oven and your refrigerator and your light bulbs are not the best frequency for the human body. So what I'm going to tell you before we go to break is I've been holding out on you. And I'm very sorry. And I do mean that sincerely. And when we come back, we're going to talk about solutions.
Ooh, wow.
Because Kwame's right. You can open up the cell body and send a frequency. But I'm going to tell you, I had COVID and I had heavy metal poisoning the last few weeks. I used this sucker. I used the healing. And I used the beamer. And I used the blood. I used essential oils. And I am going to talk about it till I'm flipping blue in the face. So let's go to commercial. Naimah, why don't you run the first commercial? And then I'll run the second, okay?
All right. Well, everybody, hold on, and we will be right back with the solution. Be right back, so stay with us.
Our kids are the future and should not be left behind. One person should not decide what is the best for our 77 communities. Politicians must work together for our kids' attention. They deserve a safe education with resources that meet every student need. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Right.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do my job here, and let's just do that.
Hi, I'm Jodi Suson with Suson Essentials. I started Suson Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Suson Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Suson Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
So we are back. And if I want to just mention that we have offices now in Georgia, in Marietta, at the Rossi Chiropractic Center or Clinic, and also in Woodstock at Out of the Box Solution. So you can see Andrew or I at either one of those. Well, you can see me at Marietta, you can see Andrew at Woodstock, and sometimes I'm at Woodstock too. But he runs the Woodstock office. So now I'm going to talk to you about healing. This is the healing, okay? And I'm going to share with you a screen, which will be the website. Let me just go here. And one moment, please. Here we go. So this is holistic healing. And Albert Einstein said, the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And this technology got buried in the 1940s, I believe it was. So it's a portable device, and it uses microcurrent frequency and microcurrent programs to boost your health and your vitality and your well-being on both emotional, physical, and spiritual level. And so for me, how this showed up this week, okay, was that I ran with this device my small intestines, and I cleaned and I brought it back into the right frequency. I ran my large intestines. I ran my lymphatics. I wasn't draining because I had, congestion from having COVID. And then on top of the fact that I had heavy metals, I detoxed using cilantro essential oil and activated charcoal. But you still have to make sure that there's no blockage. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't see a doctor. I saw a chiropractor. I had an adjustment. And because, the body does not heal unless the spine is aligned, period, end of story. Wow. So you still need to see some doctors, but really it's not so much, right? So, and I love myself a good acupuncturist too, by the way. You want to float above your body, do that. But the point is that here's why I held out and telling people, because it's not a cheap device. It's like $1,500, anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. And the next one I'm going to talk to you about is $6,000. But when you put that together for a lifetime, not a week, a lifetime, and it does the analysis for you. So you run the Healy, it analyzes what's going on with your body, gets to the root cause, and tells you what you need to know, and then you run the program and you feel better. Now it's not like you feel better in instant case, although there are a lot of times we feel better in instant case, especially when it comes to pain. And both you and Andrew and I talk about that. But it still took me days to recover, many days to recover from all the exposures that I had. But there are people that go a lifetime and not know what's going on with their body, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars without the results.
Right.
Zero results. So, Naimah, let me just finish up the Healy thing here, like on the screen. You can use it at the beach. As long as it's on your body, it works. And then I'm just going to do, I think, like a quick, and I just want to say, before I had Healy, I had 135 food sensitivities, and that did not include my environmental allergies. And so because I had environmental allergies, I had never walked a beach barefoot in my life. Now I do.
You didn't walk in the house barefoot, period.
Yeah, I didn't, because I was so sensitive to every single thing that I was touching. And the Healy and the Bod together reversed that for me. And so the thing is, a lot of people are like touting, oh, just do Healy, or just do Beamer, or just do Bod, or just do oils. I can't say that. What I can tell you is do them all together. Because that's where the power is. The Healy activates the lymphatics. My body had a cellular memory for a clogged lymphatic system. So I saw the chiropractor. I did the Healy. While I was doing the Healy, I did the Bod. The Bod, the brain picks up the interference and clears the cellular memory. We have brilliant people that have brought us technology that allows us to be independent and not hooked on drugs, not hooked on a doctor who keeps on prescribing more drugs, but hooked on life.
So let me bring it to make it a little easier for some people to understand. We know that our bodies are wired electrically. We have electrical current running through us. It's maybe low level, but if you think about back to when you're in middle school or high school and you learned about electrons, neutrons, protons, positive and negative electric charges, there are charges in your body, and we are electrical beings. We are beings that have things moving all really fast inside of our body. And because we are electrical bodies, these devices, be they sound frequency or microcurrent or pulse electromagnetic frequency, which is what we're looking at right now, PEMF, that's why these devices work on your body. A pharmaceutical is mimicking something in nature. So we talked about the essential oil earlier that took off nail polish. Essential oils are the root, the essence of plants and bark and leaves. So everything that you can go from a cilantro to vitamin C, it's a lemon rind, the actual essence of a plant. Pharmaceuticals have been created to mimic what nature already provides to us. So that's the biology part of healing. Then there's the electrical or electroceutical part of healing, which is what Jodi was talking about: sound frequency, electrical frequencies, and pulse electromagnetic frequencies.
She wants you.
That's where other elements can help your body to heal itself, because the body understands biology. The body understands electricity. And if you're going to give these technologies which have been developed to help your body do what it already does, what God made it to do is to heal itself. One thing you really need, of course, is love and affection. I brought some love and affection right here because she wanted to come in and be part of the show. This is Fagala, and I think that probably Tinkerbell, the other parrot, is going to be with Jodi in a few minutes.
It's interesting that you speak of love and affection, and then we talk about energy healing. We're life force energy of creation inside a biochemical electrical structure that is directly affected by the energy that we are, and our energy is affected. All the things that we've been talking about, our energy is affected by all the things we're ingesting. And so if we work on an energetic level, we can correct things like the biochemical toxins. We can correct things that create low frequency thoughts that cause low frequency behavior, such as violence. We can do all of this with energy based healings because we're energy beings. And as Jodi was pointing out, when you have a device that can reverse the effects of negative energy and the biological effect it's being expressed through your body, this is something that you can use at home for your whole family for generations. So, and instead of going to some place where people have been taught to just treat the symptoms of an illness using mimicked substances that were manufactured in a lab, and only treat the symptoms and not get to the root cause and heal you, you can actually have a device that heals you.
Naimah, I'm going to take us back to the first hour of our call. We talked about violence on television, violence in movies, and that's energy. It's not just the visual you're seeing; it's the energy that it portrays, the dark, bad energy. And so it is. You're right about being able to heal through energy, and then conversely, how damaging bad energy can be. And if someone says, "Okay, what do you mean, Andrew?" I mean, if you're looking at a violent movie, you can feel that negativity. That's what they want you to do. They want you to feel emotions, high emotions, bad emotions about to get you excited or angry. That's energy. If you walk into a room, sometimes you feel the energy is not good here. I don't like how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the energy. It's the person who's in there, person who was in there, who left there,
argument that was in there.
Negative. You can feel it.
Is my mic still open?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and we're making this is an excellent point, and how we've been able to create frequencies. But what we're looking at, the human body is a semi-conducting crystal. We have crystal in our body. We also have iron in our body. We have all the minerals. That's why we're sharing about the mineral salts. Because what we're looking at is we're mimicking and creating frequencies that is in nature. Nature has already created a community that is thriving and has been living off of the energy frequency of what's above and what's below and what's within the earth. What we're doing and creating these type of things in which because we use the silica, that's why you have Silicon Valley. That's why in the periodical chart, if you look at it, just below carbon is silica. That's why I was saying we're carrying into a silicon being, because this is what we're now in these frequency change. This is what it's going to take for the divine intelligence to help to change and activate that 33,000 junk DNA that we don't talk about. It's not junk, it's a memory. Those genes have been laying dormant in order for the right frequency to be turned back on in the galaxy when our solar system gets back into position again. That's why we're moving into the age of Aquarius, because you got Aquarius and you got Aquarius opposite is Leo. Aquarius and Leo, and what Leo is learning to empower oneself. L-E-O. Learning to empower oneself.
Learning to empower oneself. Ego.
Right, and that's the lion, because that was left there in the land of Kemet, because it had the head of a woman on the body of a lion. It's because the divine feminine is to keep that animal under control. She is the reproducer of us. And so what we're seeing now is that we are now moving into a new era, and what we have created is to go against divine intelligence with artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is not going to win.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we should know. You know, no matter what's happening, artificial intelligence is not going to win over the universal intelligence, the universal mind of creation. We should know that, so that we're not living in this state of fear and dread.
Right. So
And
that's, thank you for saying that, because
Yeah.
universal intelligence rises above artificial all day long.
All the
Like
time.
whatever was made in a petri dish or a lab or in a technician's lab, whatever, sorry, doesn't trump God.
Right.
God wins
all the time.
End of story.
Well, that's why you're saying GMO. It says genetically modified organism, correct? No,
Right.
it means God is original.
God makes original. Yes, absolutely. So, you know, yesterday on Zelda's show, I put the thought out there that just as we have devices that can correct the negative energy and remove toxins from our system, we also have the capacity to correct the negative energy inside of people from the toxins of thought. We have the capacity to change the energy, and the energy that we have is the power of love. That's the creator's energy. That's the creator's energy that resets, and God makes originals. Well, our original design is one of peace, love, peace, and joy. That's our original design. So we can reset somebody who has been distorted energetically by the violence, by the trauma, by all of the things that disturb us and distort us. And this is akin to the energy healing that is done on our physical structure. We can do the same energy healing on the spiritual structure. We have the capacity to do that. I mean, we've all done it. When people talk about, people may say, well, let's all collectively pray for someone. Well, that energy that we send, it does help heal them. We have the same capacity to heal people who are sick in spirit that do violent acts because they've been subjected to toxic thoughts and toxic feelings. We have the capacity to heal the earth, to heal those in the earth, to heal those who are negatively impacted by the things we've done on this earth by sending them love energy. And this is how we can reverse the damage we've done, just like we've got devices that reverse the energetic damage we've done to our physical bodies. So we can choose to do that. And that is the greatest power that we have. Not worrying about, well, how many more police do we need? How many more tanks do we need to roll down city streets and blast everybody? That's insanity. We need to heal the toxic energy in the spirit. And that is how we reverse the issues of crime and violence. We have that power within us. That's who we are.
I cannot agree with you more. I mean, and I want to do a yes and to that. So first of all, it always starts from within.
Yes.
Right? Always starts from with you. So if I have you use a Healy or a Beamer or a BOD and you are resistant to healing, guess what? It's not going to work.
Absolutely. I had a demonstration of that with someone. I suggested that they use it and they were like, no. So, okay. Yeah.
And Kwame is, he's texted me a picture of 4 books, by the way. Biology of Belief. Let me just see if I can get this up here. The Biology of Transcendence, Tree of Life, and the Zodiac Salts of Salvation, and the Genie in Your Genes. Ooh, nice.
Genie in Your Genes.
Genie in Your Genes. Crap, that's good for me.
And that's because in using these tools, people have done the work in being able to how we need to begin to work within, and that's where the journey is. Because as as Rumi says, everything in the universe is within you. When will you learn to use yourself?
That's it.
Well, Kwame, we're showing this on the screen now. The four, just going to say them again. Biology of transcendence, biology of belief, the genie in your genes, tree of life, and the zodiac assault of salvation. So you live about an hour away from me. Andrew and I will be hopping in the car to come get your books.
Give you library cards, and that's hard to do. You can sit on the porch and read it, but you can't take them out the library.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, your books probably have really good energy on it, so I'll take your books.
Healing the soul wounds, because what we're looking at, they're talking about mental illness. It's the soul is wounded because psychology comes from the word soul or spirit. That's what it means. The souls of people have been wounded. And this is the part, because it's the spirit that gives energy to grow the brain, and the brain grows the body. That's why we say spirit, mind, and body. It's because the disconnect from the human mind is disconnected from its spiritual connection. It's being interfered with by pollutions, the EMFs, and all of the things that they have put into place is to interfere with what nature has a frequency of giving that is divinely orchestrated, and that's what we're challenged with, in that the forest is the first community. And what we have to be able to do is return to our mother, because we've been put into urban, which is that you are banned from nature, so you're being made a human orphan. You're taken from your mother and put into an environment that's not conducive to her lap time. Sitting on Mother Earth is sitting on the lap of the grandmother.
Wow. Well, right. I agree with that. And both for these pendants, I don't know if Andrew has his on today. We typically try to wear them all the time, that neutralize the impact of the electromagnetic frequencies. And so I'm just going to say that look, for someone, I'm trained, right? I'm trained on meditation. I'm trained on energy healing. I'm trained to pause, which I've retrained my brain. It took me a long time. And I'm going to tell you, it's still hard to do some of these things without the devices. And when people don't have access, they're living in a concrete jungle. They can't, it's going to take them hours to get to a forest. Okay, to grab. And so I really want to really push hard on this, people. Get yourself what you need. Come to me and see me. You got a 20-minute consult. You my website, email me or call me, whatever you need. This is critical. This is not funny. Right. These are unprecedented times. Muscle up.
We have to change energy. Absolutely.
Yeah. I gave internet when I was disabled so that I could buy a water filter. Okay. And I gave up a lot of things. I sold things so I could buy a neutralizer for my home. And these aren't even that expensive, but keep in mind, I was on disability, so I wasn't really bringing in much money. But a neutralizer is $80 for the house, covers 5,000 square feet. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you have to control the energy in your environment. And I will say before we take a break, because I just had dental surgery and I was in so much pain, but I was determined not to take drugs and put any more toxins in my system. And I called Jodi, and she ran to Healy. And the next day I went from, when they give that scale of pain, 0 to 10, I was at a 10, and I was down to 0 by that morning. And I could actually function, because I felt like a drug addict, going through withdrawal. I'm like, I'm not going to take the drugs. I'm not, because even though they prescribe Tylenol and all that, but I just decided I'm not going to put any toxins in my body. I'm going to get through this and take natural things. I took clove, for healing. And I just decided I was not going to take drugs, because then you got the side effects from the drugs after the drug wears off. And I just didn't want that. So I can testify that it works. And, you know,
And
even
you're
if you
in
don't understand the
Chicago, and
science, you go for it.
I'm in Georgia. You're in Chicago, and I ran the
Right.
Healy on you.
Right.
So
And think
it
about
doesn't
that.
have to be the same
Distance
state,
here.
it can be the same country.
Right, right. So, you know, and this is why I give the analogy that we have the power to send.
Oh, we just lost Naimah for a moment. You know what? While she's trying to get back online, I'm going to run a commercial on Blog Talk. So give me a minute here. Actually, I'm going to run one of ours because I know that we're supposed to run a particular commercial, but I don't actually see it. So give me a minute. I'll run one of mine.
With a simple blood test and food plan, Suson Essentials will help your business, your family, and you eliminate toxins and create a step-by-step plan to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Click here to learn more. Suson Essentials leads you to wellness by giving you access to more than 20,000 sustainably produced nutritional products delivered direct to your door.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jodi Suson. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naimah Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Crime in Chicago continues to increase. Community and politicians must come together to make a change. No one person can solve these problems by themselves, but I believe together we can make progress. Let's provide job training, economic growth, and invest into our 77 communities. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Well, we are back, and Andrew, tell me, what else has been transformational for you on your health journey? You know, you've learned about the power of toxic thoughts, right? Got Naimah back in. But what's and the food? I mean, you have a couple stories to tell about Beamer, if I recall. Is that
Well,
right?
sure. I'll get to them and get to something else first. So,
Sure.
we talk about the 3 T's: toxins, traumas, and thoughts. And toxins, we've talked about being in the food supply, the water you drink and shower in, because if you're not filtering your water that you're showering in, you are the filter with all the toxins that are in public water system. But there's other toxins that people put in their body that I used to. Let's talk about alcohol. Alcohol is a toxin. It's a poison. It makes you feel good, but there are a lot of detrimental effects to it. And actually, I got to a point. This is a foundational point. People make often difficult changes when the pain becomes too great, but they don't want to live with that pain anymore, so they make the change. I drank alcohol, hard liquor, beer, wine, different kinds of things throughout my adult life to kind of calm down and escape. And many people do that. And I got to meet who is my beautiful wife now, Jodi Suson, Calhoun. And she got to a point where we were maybe a year into our relationship, and she said, alcohol is not a good thing for you. You should really make a choice. You can choose me or you can choose the liquor. I said, if it's and sometimes it comes down to making what you think are hard choices, and you want to really have a clear choice to make. And that was a clear choice to make. So I chose her, and I'm so grateful I did.
You beat out the liquor. Wow.
If you talk about alcohol or anything else that you're struggling with, and you say, put the easy, a line down the middle of the paper and say, what have I gained from doing this, using this, experiencing this? What have I lost by using this or experiencing this? It doesn't just have to be alcohol. It could be the violent movies we talked about. It could be a relationship that you're in that you're thinking, I'm not sure that woman, that guy is right for me. What do I find exciting? What's been good for me? What's not been good? You got to weigh those benefits and costs and advantages to see if it's really worth it. Absolutely. And you'll find, as I found, that once you give up that toxicity, in this case, alcohol, but there could be any kind of toxicity, you feel better, you react better, you respond better to situations. So that's alcohol, but we'll talk about food as well. If you put the right food in your body, the right nutrition in your body, you will respond better. People know that intuitively. They're like, well, of course, if you're eating good foods and your body's got the vitamins, the minerals it needs, you're going to respond better. But you really do. Your body is fueled. God made our body to be fueled by the good stuff he provided on this earth.
Yes.
And so if you put that good stuff in your body, you will see a difference. And after, let's suppose you eat food without pesticides, food without growth hormones, water that's filtered. After a very short period of time, your body's gonna start to say, hey, I feel better. I'm sleeping better, I'm seeing better, I'm thinking better, and I'm responding better to things. And so those toxins, traumas, and thoughts, work on those every single day.
Toxins, traumas, and thoughts. Kwame wanted to respond to what you just said, Andrew. Go ahead,
okay.
Papa Kwame.
Yeah, and I thank Andrew for the 3 T's, because what he's sharing is the mind changers, what the indigenous people call alcohol. And we have to understand that the human body has its endorphins and has its release. Like he said, you can eat the right foods and the right things that will give you the same pleasure. And the other part of it is that it's through environment and trauma that creates these parts of it. Is what we have to begin to do is seeing how to activate the body to give it the highest part. Even when women take epidurals, the woman's body, that in the indigenous teaching, the woman's body already has the chemical makeup that when she's producing a child, it will give her the necessary chemicals in her body to produce that child upon this earth. So what we're seeing is that we have changed ourselves in creating pleasure when the body is already made to produce its own pleasure sensitivities.
Oxytocin, serotonin.
Right.
It's already got all the hormones. But when you are living in a state of artificially induced stress, your brain actually loses the capacity to naturally produce those hormones. And that, I think I can't remember who said it, but something that causes, I don't know if you said it, Andrew. I don't know if Baba Kwame said it, but it's about what creates addiction.
Addicts.
Right. Yeah, addicts. When you can't get those natural hormones produced naturally, so you look for the artificial way to feel good, and you get addicted to that because you can't do it naturally, and then it just becomes an addiction. So this is what a lot of people are experiencing, is that they have traumas, and they have thoughts, they have toxins, they have all of these things that they're living with, and so they are looking for artificial means to self-medicate and do what the body does naturally if you treat the body right. And if we can teach that, and we can help people to restore themselves to their natural balance and empower the body to do what it does, then we'll see a lot of this aberrant behavior disappear. Because
Well,
that's
so
really what,
I'd like to pipe in about that. It's going to take a shift in the mindset,
yeah,
because people are accustomed to going to the doctor, paying $30 copay, and then coming out with a bottle of pills. Okay.
yeah,
And like that's going to be the solution. So the mindset has to be that A, pay more than $30, okay, and B, I'm responsible for my own health.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that doctors don't help, they do, you know, but mostly you are helping yourself, okay, and you're getting a coach, somebody, and you don't want a coach who's going to coach you for the rest of your life, by
right.
the way.
They should coach
Just
you so you can help yourself, so that you're not
minute.
right.
Yeah. So you want a coach who's going to graduate you, and that during the coaching process, they empower you to do these things on your own. Not that you can't come back to the coach, but that you then come back for short, small stints of capturing some information.
Right.
Okay. But we don't want you tethered to other people in order to have your divine right to your own health.
Right. Right. Well, and Kwame was saying that's what grandmothers used to do, is be that advisor. But really, you're at some point, you got to take responsibility for your own life. This is why when cults form and somebody will slavishly follow a leader that's telling them everything they must do in their lives, as if they're not adult enough to figure out how to manage themselves and how to make their own decisions. Anytime somebody wants power over you so that they have to tell you what to do, and you believe that you have to get their direction.
Oh, she's cutting out again. So I think what Naimah is trying to say is anybody who feels that they need to power over you and get direction from you in order to make a move is not how you want your life to be. So I just kind of took over, Naimah, because you cut out. Did you catch what I had said? Oh, you did, but you're muted now. Not by me, just by the universe for some reason. So while we're waiting for Naimah to get her audio back, Andrew, did you want to contribute?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think about this one.
Oh, there she is.
She's on twice.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that's okay. So the thing is, I mean, you don't want to be tethered to somebody, right? In order to have health, is what we're saying.
Your mantra, one of your mantras is self-care and helping people to give people the tools and the guidance they need so that they can do things on their own, because our body's the master healing machine. If we know how to do, we know what to put in it. So it's really about finding guidance and finding. Kwame shared those books, and we've shared some other resources. It's a matter of calling in. You can call into Naimah, you can call into Jodi, you can call into me to get some advice. And the advice doesn't necessarily even cost anything, to be able to have a better understanding of what's available. So that means from the food standpoint, the water standpoint, the energy healing standpoint, the meditation standpoint, that's another thing we haven't talked about, which is anyone can do anywhere, anytime, is to really ground yourself and be quiet, and even ask questions of source, God, higher power to get guidance. So you get guidance from a person like Jodi. You can get guidance from God. If you're quiet and you ask and listen, and if you're in tune, you're going to hear answers. That's important. Another important part of healing and stability and grounding.
Well, and it's interesting. So what thank you for bringing it up. I created a new program, and the program is called the 3 R's. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys this program. I'm really going to encourage people to start reaching out and calling me. And I've never really pushed this before, but call me. I know you guys need my help. So just call me. Don't be shy. Don't sell yourself short. Give yourself, what you deserve, which is, real health. So, and I can take you there. So this is the new program, and it's called the 3 R's. And I say, embrace the intuitive soul within you. Okay. And looks like we lost Naimah again for a moment. But it's your divine right to hear God. This is not special for me, people. So not special for me. And I went on this journey. And if you want, of reclaiming my health, and you can download my free book when you go to the website, Suson Essentials. And when you go to the shop button, you can, download the book, or you can go and at the bottom of any page and download the book. You can't miss the book. And we have testimonials about what I've done for others, both written and video. And, it's having the 3 R's, which is removing toxicity, which is, as we discussed today in the show, is not just your food and water supply. It's not just your air supply. It's the people that you hang around with. It's the TV, the radio. If it's not positive, you should have it in your life. You release all the positive things that fuel your soul to receive whatever it is that you're looking to receive. Good health, abundance, love relationships. You deserve this. And it's a 90-day program. And so if you're not ready to jump into a 90-day program, that's fine. Hire me for a day, or for an hour of one day, so that you can, looks like Naimah, you're back, I think. Let me know. Okay, let me take her back off. Hold on. You hire me for the day or for an hour of the day, so that you can get a glimpse of what this is going to look like for you. Because once you start following these easy steps and stop spending money on things that don't serve you.
So it's transformational. Jodi and I met a great guy, who at a wellness fair that we attended at Rossi Chiropractic Center a few weeks ago. And this gentleman reached out to her. I met him. We had a good conversation. Jodi helped him with a few things. And then Jodi says, you have what you need. We maybe will have small conversations going forward, like tune-up things, but you have what you need to heal yourself. And I said, you're giving away the client? Yeah, he's been with other people for years, engagements of years at a time. Many people have been with doctors for years. Jodi said, my job is to have clients self-care, to help give them the tools that they need to do it on their own. It doesn't sound like a good business model, but what the business model is about, referral. When he finds satisfaction, he finds healing in what has happened, he'll pass this along. It's about, you can do it yourself, but you just need to know the tools and what you need, how you can heal yourself. That's what Jodi does best.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Do you want to share your story about using pulse electromagnetic frequencies?
Sure. So the beamer is one of the technologies we use in our house, and it runs on pulse electromagnetic frequency, which are magnets. This particular technology has a large mat that you put down on a bed, on a chair, couch, that you lie down on. It's about 5 feet long or a little bit longer. It's got, and so when you turn it on, it runs for 8 minutes. And you can set the level from 1 to 10, and we are as low and slow because you don't need your body getting that excited. But the way that it works is it works on microcirculation and on the muscular system. So your blood's pumped from your heart through your arteries, and then it gets down to your capillaries, the smallest blood vessels in your body. And by the time it gets down there, the force of the heart, as strong as your heart might be, is not going to get down to your extremities, your feet, your hands, your bottom of your legs. So what your body does is the capillaries do this. They then push the blood along. And maybe you're compromised, or if you get older, that doesn't work quite as well. This technology works to make the capillaries push the blood along more. What does that mean? It means blood is carrying red blood cells with more oxygen to heal. It's having more white blood cells to help with infection. And so the story that Jodi's telling about is I lay down on the beamer mat, and there's also there's a video of where the blood flow. This is actual microscopic. The view of the blood vessel on the left-hand side where the blood vessel was, and then using the beamer. During using a beamer, you see the increased blood flow. It's hard to miss. That's what happens. That's what it's showing. So with more blood comes more oxygen. With more oxygen comes more healing. So going to what Jodi wanted me to discuss, this beamer also has attachments which are more concentrated, localized energy. I had a torn meniscus, and the doctor said we can sew it up and that'll get rid of the pain for you. It's not going to actually heal anything. We're going to take out the broken part and sew the other two sides together. So if you can deal with the pain, you shouldn't have the surgery. So I thought, let me try this beamer technology. So I tried it. I used frankincense essential oil. I did ice on, ice off for a few days at the beginning. Then I used this beamer spot, the concentrated device, for 3.5 weeks, maybe 4 times a day, 5 times a day at the beginning. My meniscus healed. I started running again, jogging full speed, no problem, no pain. It was bad. If you had a torn meniscus or you had a knee problem before, it's bad, it's painful. Now there's no pain, no discomfort, no issue, and no reduced mobility. I have no issue at all. The recovery time is 3.5 weeks. Normally a torn meniscus surgery is 3.5 weeks recovery, but you're under the knife, you're having surgery. I had no surgery, same recovery time.
What is the deductible for surgery about?
So you've got a cost to go into, you've got the time and the cost to go in for the surgery. You've got anytime you have surgery, even if it's arthroscopic surgery, there's risks of infection or there's risk of complications. So this beamer technology eliminated all those risks. This is the risk-free procedure. And the beautiful thing is, it's good for other ailments. If you have a shoulder that got hurt lifting weights, you can use the beamer right there because the increased blood flow is going to help to heal. It's just the way that the body works. The body will heal better if it gets more blood and oxygen flow.
I got to read this to you, okay? So it says on the screen, I'm not going to show the screen, I'm just going to post it, but it says, among employer-based health insurance plans in the United States, the average deductible amount for 2020 was $1,945 per individual, $3,722 per family. The health insurance marketplace, 2021 median individual deductible bronze level plans was $6,992. How much is a beamer?
$6,000, $5,900.
And each year you're going to pay at least $7,000 on your deductible.
Well, this is any of these devices that we've described. The real beauty of it is you buy it once, you use it for your lifetime. You buy it once, you use it for your lifetime, and any family members you have, loved ones you have in the house, use it as well. Everyone gets to use it. You share it. Your pets.
I want to read this video. Can I do that? I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. I apologize.
You've got 6 minutes.
I know. And it's a 3-minute commercial or a 3-minute thing. So
how does it work? Folks, Beamer stimulates muscles. The pulse electromagnetic field from Beamer moves through the area being treated, stimulates the tissues and the cells that the pulse electromagnetic field interacts with. The effect extends through the tissue into the vessels, as you can see on the screen here, supporting healthy local circulation where the field is applied. In addition, Beamer inductively stimulates your muscles in order to increase blood flow and optimize muscle performance as well as supporting recovery. I want to take a look here at this intravital microscopy video. This is the local microcirculation of a male who's been under chronic stress. And what we're seeing here is a zoomed-in view of a local area of microcirculatory vessels. And on the left side of the screen, you're looking at an arteriole that's vertically oriented, and on the right, also oriented vertically, is a venule. The small vessel that is branched off horizontally on the left is a capillary. Arterioles are responsible for oxygen, blood, which then delivers the blood and its components to the cells, which are vital for these cells to function. You can see the blood flowing clearly in all the vessels here observed, but the little capillary is not being adequately
mute yourself, Jodi and Naimah.
Therefore, the cells do not get what they need to work properly. You're going to see here also that there's no vascular movements or oscillations occurring with the arteriole on the left side, which should be. In addition, there's restricted blood flow, there's poor perfusion, and diminished venous return. Too much of this going on, and you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel sluggish, maybe even experiencing cold hands, cold feet. But one thing for sure, poor blood flow can be the precursor to many issues that people experience every day, and they don't even know it. Let's take a look here at what happens to Beamer after it was only turned on for 3 minutes of treatment. You'll already start to see this increase in blood flow. You can see the capillary open up. There's an increased arterial flow. What you also see is this increased venular flow, returning carbon dioxide back to the lungs and clearing out the waste products from our body. Here we are after 6 minutes of Beamer use.
Wow.
I want you to pay special attention to the right side, this venule, where the white blood cells are rolling over the endothelial walls of the vascular lumen. Think of it. It's like the cops or the police being out on the streets patrolling and protecting you. That's your mobile immune system. When your blood is flowing, when it's moving, your immune system is more vital. If your blood is not functionally flowing, you can't possibly have a high-functioning immune system. Therefore, you're not protected. You can think about it this way. If you're perfused, you're protected. Now we're going to take a look at, and we're going to see the lingering effects of Beamer after only 22 minutes. So Beamer was already done for 8 minutes, 20 minutes application, 30 minutes after starting therapy. The effects of Beamer therapy, while temporary, and documented to last up to 18 hours for some users. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But the fact is, Beamer is an incredible tool to support your local circulation and keep you performing at your best.
So I want to add a yes and to this. So we pair that with the bod because the body has a cellular memory for not having good flow, right? You ate crappy, or you had an accident, or you had the stress. So when you pair these devices, the Healy, the Beamer,
90 seconds
with the bod, the results are transformational.
I think you got a caller at 863-816. Got about 30 seconds to speak.
Okay. Oh, we got a couple callers. So 863-816. We're going to bring you on. I'll go over for a couple minutes just so. Go ahead. You're live. Where are you calling from? Hello.
60 seconds.
Okay, so we're going to go to 312-671. We've got 60 seconds. Hello?
We are not alone. Yes, good morning. This is Minister Robert Floyd Plump. I'd like to continue this conversation or discussion in a community collaboration at the National Black Wall Street, Chicago, 4655 South Dr. Mountain.
You know they're not in Chicago, they're in Georgia.
I already
yeah.
So, sorry, but but this is not an advertising. If you would like to advertise on the show, we do charge for that, and you can advertise on the show. Please see Naimah Latif to ask her. Naimah, how people reach out to you if you would like to advertise the show?
Well, you can email me at naimah.thefemalesolution@gmail.com. naimah.thefemalesolution@gmail.com.
All right. So this has been really helpful. And if you were watching this and you want to share with friends, we appreciate that. We're very grateful. Any last closing items from either Andrew or Naimah?
Watch what you put in your body. Watch what your eyes see. Be cognizant of it because it makes a difference. And watch what your kids are eating. Watch what your kids are watching. You can make a difference. You can make a huge difference in the lives in their lives.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. All right.
God bless. God bless. Thank you both for being here. Thank you, Fagala, and come on up here. Thank you.
They're fun today. They're reflecting peaceful energy in the home. Yes.
Yeah, and we'll have another follow-up to this show because we really did talk about what we do for the birds to help them heal. I'll take the 1 minute. We use selenite sticks to help their little bird bodies because it's a happy stick. We use the 528 hertz. We did Reiki on them. We loved on them. There's still, is there anything you want to add? She said we loved on them is what she really wants to talk about.
That's the everything energy. Love is the healing energy, and that's what we can do for all of those souls who are in pain. Send them love energy. Help them.
You got it. You got it. All right. So I guess we're just gonna. Oh, I gotta run the ending of the show, so we'll do that. Give me a minute here. There we go. Yay!
We've come to the end of our show today, but you can hear every show in the archives at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. You can also hear today's show on the Female Solution Facebook page. Go to www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, Sheshe, India, Dhanyabad, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Danke, Poland, Hong Kong, France, Merci, Spain, Gracias, Italy, Grazie, Egypt, Shukran, Ghana, Medasi, Nigeria, Eshe, South Africa, Gabonga, Senegal, Deret, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.